Okay, not we. That person just hit me! Hey! You hit me with... Hey! You hit... Can I shoot you? Where's my gun? I can't pull out a gun? Do I just...
May not.
Ah! The AI in this game is so stupid. It's like incredibly dumb. Oh, dang! Nick's like flew too. That's funny. I don't think I've ever seen him fly before like that.
Look at that.
The recoil knocked me off the platform. That's actually really funny.
Let's make some noise.
Hey, what's up? I don't know what that was. That's fun. What's up, Acolytes, and welcome to Star Wars Outlaws. In this video, I'm going to show you how I earned each and every trophy in the game, as well as go over the story as it unfolds. Now, if you've been enjoying my videos so far, I urge you to hit that subscribe button, and if you enjoy this video, I hope at the end you'll hit the like button, and then also leave a comment telling me what your thoughts were on the game. To start though, I just want to say that I'm aware that the game has received a lot of negativity, and so I just want to share my honest thoughts. Story-wise, I was very engaged throughout and wanted to know what was going to happen next in the main plot. A lot of the contracts and intel chains seemed tedious though, and didn't seem to amount to anything other than increasing a reputation with a certain syndicate or giving you some minor loot. When it came to the world design, the graphics seemed polished and well detailed, but something just seemed off to me with the character designs. I don't know, she doesn't look and seem as polished as she could be, but that could just be me. Functionality of the game, I did come across a number of bugs, but nothing that prohibited my enjoyment of the game. In fact, I thought they were pretty funny. Here are some of my favorite ones. Fine. Oh my goodness, he is impaled on the control center.
What was that?
Ooh, we're floating! Oh, that's so cool! Man, that's some Jedi power right there.
Hi, Nix.
Oh, look at that! I'm using the Force! Run, run, run! Yeah, that was weird. But entertaining. I'll go into more detail on my thoughts of the game as we go, but I think now, let's get into the trophies. The first trophy we're going to get in the game is called Made It Somehow and requires acquiring a blaster, a starship, and a speeder, basically beating the prologue of the game. The game begins introducing us to the main villain Sliro, as well as some of the syndicates in the game, the Pikes, Crimson Dawn, and Hutts. Sliro then announces that his syndicate Zarek Besh is going to be the new big kid on the block and then kills all of his dinner guests. We then get to meet the character we get to play as, named Kay. As she is getting ready in her room, she picks up her blaster, the first thing that we need to acquire. At this point, there isn't anything too complicated to do except to just finish the prologue. During this time, you'll get to meet Kay's father figure, Bram, who has sheltered her at his cantina. Get your data spike fixed by Preben so that you can unlock doors and containers. Learn about sneaking up on your enemies. Dang, she must throw a really mean right hook. And learn the combat system of the game.
It wasn't supposed to go down this way. What have I done?
I killed people. After a job gone wrong, you'll be back at the cantina where the local syndicate is trying to find you, leading to Bram getting shot. I mean, poor Bram. You ever been that guy to get hurt for no reason except to save the person you care about, and then she ditches you because she can't stop being an outlaw? Yeah, sucks to be him. Afterwards, you'll pick up a new job breaking into a rich guy's mansion to steal some credits. Whee! Can you imagine if she really just like fell off the cliff and just died? Those people would be like, dang it, now we gotta find a new thief. I guess we should have dropped her off closer. Inside the mansion, you'll learn about your friendly buddy Nix helping you take out enemies, as well as how to get past locked doors and then slicing into computers. Once you break into the vault, you find out that the rebels were actually using you to break out one of their own, and then knock you out and leave you there. Filthy rebel scum. Sliro finds you in the vault and is gonna kill you, but your faithful pal Nix saves the day and you get away. However, you do hear Sliro say he is putting out a bounty on your head. To escape the mansion, Kay decides to steal Sliro's ship, which for some reason he decided not to put a tracking chip on, and we now have the second thing that we needed to acquire. Kay will fly the now damaged ship to Tashara, where it will crash land before meeting up with Waka and using a move right out of Red Dead Redemption to pick off 3 gunmen. With them out of the way, you are granted a speeder to get around the planet, which gives us the 3rd thing that we had to acquire and will pop the trophy. The next trophy I got is called Like a Bantha and entails performing a perfect landing with the speeder. So after we get the speeder on Tashara, we only need to find a ramp on our way to the next objective, jump it, and then land without the speeder taking any damage, and then boom, the trophy will pop. The 3rd trophy I got in the game is called Stay on Target and requires you to complete your first intel chain. The first major city we run into on Tashara is called Miragana. Here, we have to meet up with the Pike boss Gorak, whose office is in McCall's Cantina, and try not to get scammed with a VIP invite to his office.
I think someone took you for a ride, kid. VIP invite.
You gotta be kidding me, Where is that dude? I got scammed! No! Once you do meet up with Gorak and consequently get thrown out of his office, you'll meet Donka, who will introduce you to the different syndicates. She will then give Kay a job to break into Gorak's base and steal some data for a client. Make your way into and then through the Pike area. They don't even care! They're just walking away like, oh, okay. Then access the computer to steal a recipe and access an encrypted file showing someone is planning to betray Gorak. Make your way back to the cantina to meet up with Donka and meet one of Crimson Dawn's contacts, Alira. Then meet up with Gorak and let him know he's going to be betrayed so you can raise your reputation enough to get into the Pike territory. Once you can get into the Pike territory, you can overhear 2 people talking, which grants you an intel mission. Follow the mission marker until you complete the intel chain and bam, you'll pop the trophy. The next trophy is called Get Rhythm and is completed by picking 20 locks using the data spike. At this point in the game, you have access to the world of Tashara and can do other intel quests and side quests. A lot of these will have you breaking into buildings, which means you'll be picking a lock. You can also use your pal Nyx to steal items when you otherwise thought you would be caught.
Hey, let's go over and get
Just send the animal to just steal everything. No one will catch the animal.
Boom.
And it's not even called stealing, it's called fetching. You're not stealing it, he's just fetching it.
When you get back to following the main quest, you will be working a new job for Donka, but need to upgrade your blaster first. The part you need is either in Pike or Crimson Dawn territory, and I chose to infiltrate Crimson Dawn to get it. Once you have it, bring it to the workbench on your ship, which Waka moved to Jontas Hope landing pad, and you can attach it to your blaster. It will help get you into a building to collect your loot and then return to Donka for your payment. You can also now talk to Waka and give him the fuel injectors he needs to get the ship flying. After that, I did a couple more side quests that had me picking locks, and I was able to get the trophy to finally pop. The next trophy is really easy to get and is called Give Me the Good Stuff, which is acquired by buying an item from a merchant's VIP stock. So once you raise your reputation with a syndicate high enough to get good status, you will be able to purchase items out of their faction stock, and once you do it for the first time, the trophy will pop. The next trophy I got is a little bit more difficult. It's called It Wasn't Me and is acquired by bribing an Imperial officer to clear Wanted level 5. At this point in the game, I was tasked with stealing an Imperial code sequencer from an Imperial technician.
I have the high ground. I win.
However, in trying to steal it, which I did successfully do by the way, I had my Wanted level reach level 5. On Tashara, you can then race back to Miragana and then take the entrance closest to the cantina to reach the corrupt Imperial officer. Simply pay him to clear your wanted status and you will get the trophy to pop. The 7th trophy I got is called Tip the Scales and is achieved by completing all the main quests on Tashara. At this point in the main story, Kay needs to fly her ship for the first time into Tashara space and steal a cargo of Sensana from a downed freighter. Doing so will cause a few pirates to attack you and you get to learn how to battle with your ship. Once they're beaten and you get the Sensana, Kay now needs to infiltrate an Imperial fuel station using the Sensana as a distraction, which Waka is more than happy to do.
You know it's not too late to just hand over the cargo and get out of here.
Enter the station and make your way to the data vault where you will meet up with Bosnok. You can then choose to frame either Crimson Dawn or the Pikes by deleting all of their depths from the system.
Alright, we're helping a fetus in
Okay,
a jar.
Bosnok, what do I do?
That's the best thing I got. It's a fetus in a jar.
You are now tasked with escorting the fetus off the base and taking out barriers and stormtroopers so he can continue moving.
Task. Sure,
Go
attack
get him,
you.
buddy.
Okay, you thought you were gonna have an easy job by just standing there and doing nothing.
Make a last stand against the stormtroopers until Waka can lower the ramp and you're home free. Well, defeat the TIE fighters and clear your name and then you're home free. Fly back to Miragana and meet up with Alira to let her know the good news, and then she'll also retrieve Bosnock from your ship. Now you will need to break into another Imperial facility to nab a navicomputer so your ship can jump into hyperspace. After making your way through the facility, you will access a computer that tells you that you need to grab the power core from a security office.
There's no way he's not gonna see me. There's no way he was gonna hear me push that over. There's no way they're gonna let me just take this guy out and then take the guy out. See? That's what I thought. And somehow it still works out. This is amazing.
Grab the power core and leave the facility. Now with the power core in hand, you can go find the nav computer, which is at the wreckage of an old Republic starship. Use the power core to get through the door and make your way through the starship until you get to the bridge.
I don't know what caused me to fall. Nix, I swear if that was you that pushed me over the edge. What did I do to you, Nix? I gave you food that one time.
Once there, you find out that Waka betrayed you and only wanted your ship, but luckily the Zarek Best agent also tracked you down and kills him for you, but she also wants to collect the bounty on your head. But with some quick thinking, Kay is able to make a run for it, but gets cornered, only to get saved again, this time by a robot, and then you are running again. When you get back to your ship, you meet the owner of the droid, Jalen Brax, and learn that he saved you so that you could help him build a team to once again infiltrate Thero's mansion and steal 157 million credits. After you reluctantly agree to help him, and pick up a droid babysitter, it will end all the main story missions on Tashara and you will get the trophy. Our next trophy is called Into the Mainframe and is done by slicing 10 advanced terminals. After clearing all the main missions on Tashara, I was able to finish up some side quests, which did involve slicing into these advanced terminals by lining up the different symbols to the correct slots, very similar to how you do it in the Fallout games. During this time, I also sliced through my 10th one and was able to get the trophy. The next trophy is called Now You See Me, Now You Don't, and is achieved by disabling an alarm using a security terminal while that alarm is active. Funny enough, I got this trophy in the same area as I got the last one because it is kinda easy to raise an alarm in an Imperial compound. Easy way to do this is to wait by a security alarm after alerting the Imperials you're there, let them activate the alarm, and then quickly disable it, and you get the trophy. The 10th trophy I got is called They Live Up to the Name and is gotten from clearing your wanted status by a Death Trooper confrontation event. So when you inevitably get your wanted status all the way full, the only way to clear it, besides dying and losing a lot of credits, is to track down the ISB base with the Death Troopers. Once there, you need to steal the access card from the non-Death Trooper Imperial, and then sneak into the base and access the computer to clear your wanted status. Once you do that, you are no longer wanted and you will get the trophy. The next trophy is called Slice Like You and is done by slicing 20 terminals. At this point of the game, my time on Tashara was done and it was time to now test out the hyperdrive and head to the Kijimi Nebula. When you do land at the Kijimi spaceport, Jalen informs Kay that she is there to find a safecracker named Ankh. You are also greeted by a welcoming committee, a new syndicate calling themselves the Ashiga clan, and luckily you dropped the drugs off with the Empire so you're free to pass. As you tour around Kijimi, you are bound to come across doors that you need to slice through, and luckily for me, I logged my 20th one, which unlocked the trophy. Next trophy is called Cloak and Dagger, and is done by reaching the maximum reputation with Crimson Dawn. On my way to the local cantina, I did get a little sidetracked.
Distracted, no. Rested, ooh, I like that.
This should work.
25.
Okay, come on.
Come on, Purple. Purple, you suck. Purple's doing better. Purple's in first. Oh, he's gonna lose. He's gonna get third. Oh, was he rested? Yeah, right.
What happened?
What happened is he wasn't as rested as it was told. Rested, yeah, right.
After losing and not being mad about it, I learned from the bartender that Ankh was being held and working at an Ashiga factory, and Kay was gonna have to break her out. Before breaking her out, however, I picked up a Crimson Dawn contract so I could raise my reputation to excellent, all so I could buy a pair of pants and complete the winter outfit. Oh, and get the trophy, of course. The next trophy is called Against All Odds and is achieved by winning your first fixed fathier race. Now, it's time to sneak into the Ashiga clan's territory to slice a terminal in the hopes of finding where Ankh is being held. Instead, you learn that Crimson Dawn stole an artifact from the Ashiga clan that the Queen would love to have back, and so Kay makes a play to nab it. Break into the Wellspring building and use Nyx to steal a keycard to lower the force field around the relic to be able to steal it.
Good boy, Nix. You're so good at distracting people.
Once you grab it, fight your way out and make your way to the Queen, who will be thrilled to see the relic once again and agrees to let Aang go if you do some thieving for her first. At this point, I took another Ashiga contract that led me into Crimson Dawn territory and breaking into this building that had a datapad explaining who to bet on in the next Fathier race. Using that hint, I bet on the correct Fathier this time and won, unlike last time, which also gave me the trophy.
We take the safe bets.
Sure, we take the fixed bets.
The next trophy is called The Queen's Word is Law and is won by reaching maximum reputation with the Ashiga clan. Doing those contracts for the Ashiga clan and handing over some syndicate data, I was able to get my Ashiga reputation to excellent, which unlocked the trophy. The next trophy is called One Job at a Time and is done by completing all the main story quests on Kijimi. Now we have to meet up with the daughter of the Queen, Krisk, at the cantina. She tells Kay that the only way to get Aang out is to put her on the throne instead of her mom because the Queen bartered a deal with the Empire and used Aang's explosive expertise as a bargaining chip. Oh, and she teamed up with Crimson Dawn to help ensure that she takes the throne. Make your way to the factory and sneak your way through to get to Aang. When you meet Aang, she reveals the plan is to blow up the stronghold in order to escape, but first she needs her things from the locker room. Get her good luck charm and then follow behind Aang, helping her to get through the facility. Once she is out, she tells Kay that it is a hard pass on the recruitment for the Kanto job and that she is staying on Kijimi to finish the job for Krisk. But Kay is determined and figures that if she stays as well to help Aang, that maybe it'll turn that no into a yes. Kay meets back up with Aang and the Crimson Dawn agent Kira, who reveals Crimson Dawn is backing Krisk so that they can move in on the Kijimi market. Aang then tells Kay that she needs to blow up a wall to infiltrate the palace security room and shut down the defense systems. Make your way through the cave to the wall and plant the explosive. Once through the wall, you have to shoot a number of generators to get through the force field and then disable the turrets. Once those are down, Aang tells Kay that Crimson Dawn is trying to steal the genetic code of the Ashiga clan, which would force them to serve the bidding of Crimson Dawn. Control the strand, control the hive. Kay then will need to take out all the Crimson Dawn agents before retrieving the strand and then bring it back to the Queen and Krisk and decide which one you think should lead the clan. Once you decide the leader, Aang will join your crew, Kay and Kira will have a little chat, and then you'll get the trophy for completing the main storyline on Kijimi. The next trophy is no match for a good blaster and is done by fully upgrading a blaster module configuration. Throughout the game, you will collect a number of parts that are used for upgrading your speeder, your ship, and your blaster. For this trophy, once you do get enough parts to upgrade one strand of your blaster all the way, you will get the trophy to unlock. The next trophy is called Good Listener and is acquired by listening to the longest sob story in the galaxy. Once I was done on Kijimi, I returned to Tashara to do some more side questing, and when I went into the cantina in Janta's Hope, I ran into this fella. He will tell you all about the bad luck he has run into, and as a reward for listening to his sob story, you will get a trophy. The next trophy is called Cutthroat Politics and is done by reaching the maximum reputation with the Pike Syndicate.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I want your insurance, you little... Oh, I can't pull my blaster out. That's lame.
I don't know what it is about me and speeders, but I just cannot stop getting hit by them. With Kijimi and Tashara now done, it is once again time to enter hyperspace and head to Akiva. The main goal on Akiva is that Kay is trying to recruit an old friend who is good with droids named Gadik. Kay will meet up with the local mob boss Sarat, and he will tell her that Gadik is working at an Imperial research station and that the Hutts are out trying to kill him. Touring around the city, I came across some syndicate data and sold it to the local pike merchant and was able to get my reputation up to excellent, which did unlock the trophy for me. The next trophy I got is called Never Tell Me the Odds and is achieved by defeating an enemy ship without dealing the finishing blow with lasers or missiles.
Is this deep? Oh, man. Deep enough, the game says. Wait, does that mean I can just swim? Oh, okay. They decided that swimming was not one of the things that KMS can do, apparently.
For some reason, they decided to go old school Assassin's Creed and not let Kay swim. Must be all those valuables weighing her down or something. Thankfully, the way to the Imperial base where Gadik is not blocked by water. Make your way through the base using the vents and disabling a turret until you reach Gadik. Gadik will join up with you once you mention you have a commando droid in your crew, and then you'll be able to make your way out. Once you're out, he tells you that we need to take out a Viper droid before we leave, but first we need to outfit the speeder so it can travel on water. You will need to go through some intel missions to locate Temin, and then get the parts he needs to upgrade your speeder to travel on the water. At this point, I met up with an old droid and had to disable some jammers out in space, and of course those jammers came with some enemies. Nice part about this area was there was plenty of debris flying around, and I was able to get one of the enemy ship's health down really low, and then with some luck, they ran into the debris and exploded, which allowed me to win the trophy. The next trophy is called No Such Thing as Luck, and is done by cheating and winning a game of sabacc against Lando.
Lando Calrissian.
Yeah, so this game does feature the likes of Lando Calrissian, who you get to meet now that you are on Akiva. He will ask you if you can win back something he lost at a sabacc table on Kijimi, and because he is so charming, Kay agrees. Now, sabacc, I learned, is actually a pretty fun game, where in order to win, you have to have the lowest pair of cards, so having 2 1s is better than having 2 6s, and if you have mismatched cards, you lose that many more chips. You also get shift tokens, which are interesting little interactions you can have in the game. The person left having chips at the end wins, and when Kay is the only one left standing, you win back Lando's token. On your way back to Akiva, you get attacked by TIE fighters, and Lando tells you not to lose that token. When you do get back to Akiva, Lando has you meet up with some rebels, spoiler alert, Lando is with the rebellion, and you fight off waves of stormtroopers before delivering his token back to him. He tells you that he intentionally loses the token and then has his contacts fill it with information only to have one of his friends win it back. As a reward, he teaches you some of his cheat moves for sabacc. Later on, Lando will call you again and let you know that he's interested in a game of sabacc, play him in sabacc, and make sure to use the methods of cheating he taught you against him, beat him, and you'll get his respect and a trophy. The next trophy is called What You See Is What You Get and is won by reaching maximum reputation with the Hutt Cartel. So just like with the other such trophies, I sold some syndicate data and did some Hutt contracts while on Akiva, enough to raise my reputation to excellent, which unlocked the trophy. Our next trophy is called Spiked and is done by liberating the original Super Viper droid.
Waiting for my speeder, waiting for my speeder, look at my speeder. Oh, and Nyx just got hit. Oh god, it's all over.
Kay will travel to meet up with Gadik's contacts, but will then get ambushed by the Empire's Viper droids. You then get some needed support from the rebels who Gadik has been working with this whole time. Gadik then makes Kay a deal that if she deals with his screw-up of creating the Viper droid, then he will join her crew. Infiltrate the Imperial base, making sure not to raise any alarms, and then disable the defense turrets. Meet back up with Gadik and then clear out the next room so that he can reconfigure the Viper droids to work for the rebels. Stormtroopers will then flood the room, but ND5 will back you up to take them out. Now Kay will follow the reprogrammed Viper droids to the hangar where they, along with the rebel scum, will fight off the stormtroopers until you take every last one of them out. Once they're defeated, Gadik joins your crew, the rebels get their Viper droids, and then you get a trophy. The next trophy is called Galactic Gourmet and is done by sampling all the galactic street food. The next planet for Kay to visit is of course Tatooine, because you can't have an open world Star Wars game without featuring Tatooine, right? Kay is on Tatooine to find the muscle of the operation, Haas, who was arrested by the local sheriff for doing something illegal with farming. Anyways, Kay finds the sheriff, but then immediately gets ambushed by the Hutts, who are also looking for Haas, but Kay helps the sheriff take them out, well, kinda. The sheriff returns the favor by pointing Kay in the direction of a moisture farm he was staying at.
Whew, it's over.
Yeah, try not to get obliterated by the local animals.
But all she finds is a dead bounty hunter and a transponder that may lead to Haas.
What in the world is this little thing? Oh, look at that. Isn't that cute?
I guess not all animals want to kill us. Following the transponder does lead to Haas, but also his captors. The Tuskens make Kay a deal that they will let Haas go if she returns an egg that was stolen by some bandits. Sneak into the cave and pass the bandits to grab the egg, then leave out the back and meet up with the Tuskens. Exchange the egg for Haas and he will tell you that he's in on the job and will meet you at the docking bay.
Not in my lifetime could I ever do what she just did. Imagine the upper body strength. That is just phenomenal.
So on each planet that you visit, there will be a street food vendor that when you buy food from them unlocks a quick time event. One on Tashara, on Kijimi, on Akiva, and on Tatooine. Once you complete each QuickTime event, it will unlock a bowl upgrade for Nyx that gives him some type of ability. Once you complete the last one on Tatooine, you will get a trophy for completing all of them. The next trophy to get is called Making Friends and is done by escaping Jabba's palace. Haas will conveniently not be at the docking bay when you arrive, and waiting for him only reveals that he is at the cantina. Checking on him, he winds up betting and losing Nyx in a sabacc game, and Kay gets knocked out before she can do anything. When she wakes up, Haas reveals that Nyx is being sold to Jabba.
It's also extremely inconvenient that I don't have Nyx anymore, because I can't do anything. That little thing
And D5, tell me what
is
Jabba's palace is.
so
Down.
useful.
You really don't realize how useful Nyx is until you don't have him anymore. Break your way into Jabba's palace using a back entrance, make your way through the vast palace, and check out a brief cameo of Boba Fett from inside a vent. Once you get to where the animals are being kept, Kay is able to break Nyx out and they are reunited, and it feels so good. However, you then come face to face with Jabba, and he throws you, the Zarek Besh agent Vale, and Hoss into an animal feeding pit where they make quick work of Hoss. Good riddance, I say. Kay will break through the back door and they will almost escape the palace, but not before coming face to face with a Rancor. To fight it, you will need to shoot the fuel pods above it to piss it off so that it charges you, then duck out of the way and let it ram into the door. Do this a few times and it'll knock itself out and open a big enough gap to let you and Vale escape through. Although, the Hutt enforcement is there waiting and drag you back to Jabba. He is impressed that you took out the Rancor, and rather than killing you, he lets you keep Nyx and then recruits you to figure out who in his palace is a spy. Kay will agree with his terms, and you will get a trophy. The 25th trophy I got is called Easy Pickings and is done by pickpocketing a customer in a cantina on each planet. So just like with the street food vendors, there is a cantina on each planet, and there is someone inside each cantina that you can send Nyx to steal from. Once you've done that for each one, Tatooine being the last one for me, you will get the trophy. The next trophy is called Don't Get Cocky and is done by defeating 5 enemies with Adrenaline Rush while on the speeder simultaneously. While on Tatooine, you will run into the sheriff again as part of an intel chain, and she will teach you how to shoot more guys simultaneously while using the Adrenaline Rush. Then, it's just a matter of finding 5 enemies while you're on the speeder, kill them using Adrenaline Rush, and you will get the trophy. The next trophy is called Adventure and Excitement and is done by discovering all planet areas. This one is pretty easy to do and just requires you to explore each of the gray areas on all the planets. Once you have done all of them and did the last one on Tatooine, you will unlock the trophy. The next trophy is to defeat 6 enemies simultaneously while using Adrenaline Rush. There is an upgrade you can get through an expert quest which will give Kay the ability to shoot 6 instead of 5 enemies during an Adrenaline Rush. Once you have that, just find an area with 6 enemies and use the Adrenaline Rush ability to take them out, and then you'll earn the trophy. The next trophy is called It's Mine Now and is done by acquiring the Scoundrel gear set. There will be a side mission on Tatooine to find a treasure hunter, but instead you find his holodisc. Track down the location, which will be in the middle of nowhere, to a rock and then follow the signal.
Nothing like running across the freaking desert trying to find treasure. I can't wait to see where the heck this thing. Oh no. Okay.
Don't walk, use the speeder. The tracker will lead you to this container.
Dang, Varric. What happened here?
I'm gonna guess giant sand monster.
Where inside you will loot a chest and find the Scoundrel gear set and unlock the trophy. The 30th trophy I got is called How Rude and is done by blinding 30 enemies with Nyx attacks. The interesting thing about this trophy is that when you send Nyx to attack someone, you cannot attack them until Nyx is done and has jumped off them, otherwise it doesn't count. I was able to fight off a bunch of guys and get it down to just 1, then I sent Nyx to attack him 30 times, watching him jump off after each time, and after the 30th one, I unlocked the trophy. The next trophy is called Experience Outranks Everything and is done by completing all expert quests. In the game, there are a total of 9 experts, and in order to unlock their group of abilities, or upgrades for Kay, you need to complete their quest. The last such one of these is on Tatooine and is completed when you grab a Sarlacc tooth for a Jawa. Once you return to him with the tooth, you unlock their group of abilities, which will also unlock the trophy. The next trophy is called Rare Friends and is done by completing all the main quests on Tatooine. So as you recall, we are working with the bounty hunter Vale to track down a spy inside Jabba's palace, which entails us breaking into an Imperial compound and downloading a list of names and operations from their main computer. We also catch Vale claiming that Zarek Besh is working with the Empire and she is on a personal mission to find out why. Kay now needs to battle her way out of the base and meet up with Vale, who grabbed her speeder, and get the heck out of there. They make their way to Mos Algo to meet up with Jabba's contact, but they are not there, and instead, waves of stormtroopers show up.
Oh no, will I survive the Imperial attack of nothing coming? Apparently I have to go to them. Hello? I feel like this mission is like bugged. Where is she going? Well, she just took off down the hill. Man, she's like probably like halfway across Tatooine by now.
Fight them off, and eventually ND5 will show up and save the day, blasting them with the ship. Kay basically saves Vale's life, and Vale decides not to come after Kay today. It is also revealed that it was Sliro who planted the mole in Jabba's palace and is willing to help Jabba's second-in-command take over depending on what he knows about Kay. With Jabba saying that their debts are clear, this will be the end of the main storyline on Tatooine, which does reward you with a trophy. The next trophy is called There Is No Try and is done by getting the high score in an arcade game. Once we board the ship, ND5 begins to malfunction, and Gadik explains that we need to find a compound regulator from an old Clone Wars factory in order to save him. To calm our mind about it, I decided to play an arcade game.
This is like Guitar Hero on crack.
And the only one I can do semi-well in is the ship one.
Oh, I suck!
You need to consistently shoot the ships and the rocks, and you can charge up a blast that will take everything out when you activate it.
Oh, I did it! Finally! Yes! Oh, yes! Oh, I knew I could do it.
If you are lucky enough to get the high score, you will also score yourself a trophy. The next trophy is called Galaxy Drift and is done by performing a 30-second power slide drift. This is actually a trophy I could have gotten way earlier in the game, but all you have to do is find a clearing somewhere and then hold both of the triggers down on the controller and veer to the left and hold that for about 30 seconds. Kay's leg will stick out to let you know you're doing it right. Then let go and you will unlock the trophy. The next trophy is called Old School Cool and is done by acquiring the Disruptor gear set. When you are flying around in space outside of each of the planets, you will come across crates that have certain collectibles in it that contain Separatist transmissions. Once you have collected enough of them, ND5 will let you know that he has found a set of coordinates and an entry code to somewhere on Akiva. Once you are on Akiva, look near Sashin for this big door that you can now access. Inside, you will find a crate with the Disruptor gear set, and you will unlock the trophy. The next trophy is called Best of the Best and is done by completing all the main story quests on Akiva. Now on Akiva, we run into Temin again, and he points the way to the Clone Wars factory to grab the power core for ND5. You will travel through some catacombs to reach the factory, and once you get through the door, make your way through the rows of battle droids to flip the switch on the 2 generators to restore power to the elevator. Once power is restored, Kay discovers that Zarek Besh was following them, and she will need to take out the agents in order to regroup with ND5 and Gadik. When she does, they are not alone, and surprise, the rebels who got you a death mark have been using this as a base, and Kay is not happy, but agrees that if she helps them free their team from the Hutts, they will help her with ND5. Follow Asara into Hutt-controlled territory and free the rebels. Kay finds it weird that it was Zarek Besh that showed up and not the Empire, but now that the rebels are free, she hightails it back to ND5 and installs the new regulator, which knocks her out. When she comes to, ND5 is okay, but Jalen is there and reveals that he picked up a second slicer, and it's Kay's mom, the one who abandoned her at Bram's Cantina. Also, Jalen has hired the rebels to be the firepower for the operation that Haas was supposed to be. With that all finished up, all the main story missions on Akiva are done, and you will unlock the trophy. The next trophy is called The Director and is accomplished when you learn about Sliro's secret. When talking with Jalen again, he tells us that our mission now is to steal the master key of passcodes off of Sliro, and we need to infiltrate a meeting between him and ISB to get them. We meet up with Rico, who tells us that this is the point of the game of no return, and usually I try to get the rest of the trophies before this point, but this time I decided to just go for it and clean them up after the game was over. You'll fly an Imperial ship onto the ISB base and work your way through it until Kay and Rico split because she has a bad feeling about the mission since there are so many Zarek Besh agents there. Kay will now do the grunt work and work her way through the base, making sure not to be seen by humans and droids alike. Once she goes up the elevator and sneaks into a vent, she has a perfect view of the meeting room where Vale is telling Sliro that she no longer wants to hunt down Kay, and I can only wonder why.
Well, this is a surprise.
Oh, alright. I didn't know Darth Vader was in the game.
Zarek Besh Syndicate has infiltrated the underworld into the farthest reaches of the galaxy.
Zarek Besh has not found a single member of the Rebel Alliance. Without rebels, Zarek Besh is a failure. You, Director Varsha, are a failure.
It is the ISB that will win this war. I'm so close. Lord Vader.
Then I suggest you find some rebels, Director. The Emperor is waiting.
Looks like Sliro's big secret is that he is actually the ISB director, and Zarek Besh is a front for finding members of the Rebel Alliance. Kay will then infiltrate Sliro's room and slice into his terminal so that Rico can download the master key. Kay will then sneak onto the bridge and slice into another terminal to erase all footprints of the being there and pin it instead on that Rebel scum. Kay will then sneak through a bunch of vents, making her way out of the base to the ship, and once you're on it, you will unlock the trophy, now knowing Sliro's secret. The next trophy is called Eye on the Score and is done by completing all the main quests on Canto Bight. Kay and Rico now fly to Canto Bight and meet back up with Bram and the rest of the crew. Kay will inform everyone of Sliro's secret and will then go over the plan with them. The crew will then get dropped off where Kay was dropped at the beginning of the game, but this time Kay will need to clear the area of security so that Gadik and his robot can blow through the gate. Clear out the next area and descend down a hatch, turning off fans until Kay gets separated from the rest.
Oh look, it's me using the force again. I'll lower myself down.
You will come across a large area that Kay will need to sneak through in order to climb into a vent and eventually meet back up with the crew. Kay and Rico will then slice through the barrier and turrets, and Gadik will take care of the droid at the door. After blasting the locks off the vault, Zarek Besh agents will flood the room, and then even Sliro and Vale will enter. Vale will then double-cross Sliro for 15% of the stash, and Kay and her crew will make their escape through a hole in the wall provided by Ankh. In order to escape though, the crew will need to fight the Zarek Besh agents in the casino, and once them and the barriers are taken care of, you can make a break for the Trailblazer and get out of there. Once in space, you find out that Kay has been double-crossed by everyone, as the hall was actually Sliro's databank of Imperial codes and base schematics, as well as blackmail he had on every Imperial officer. Jalen actually just wanted to take control of Zarek Besh and then give the rebels over to the Empire to curry favor with them. ND5 will then forcefully stun Kay, and that will conclude all of your business on Canto Bight, so you will get a trophy. The next trophy is called Calling in Some Favors and is done by destroying the Revelator, or in layman's terms, beating the game. Kay will wake up in an escape pod aboard an Imperial ship called the Revelator. Gadik and Ankh were able to track her down because of the chip Kay had on her and Rico helping him out. Kay will then pose as a stormtrooper because she is intent on finding ND5 and freeing him from Jalen's control. She accesses a control room to try and find Jalen, but sees that Sliro is also on the ship, as he's been called in for a conference. Kay will fall in with Sliro's escort and follow him to the meeting. At the meeting, Vader informs Sliro that he has outlived his usefulness and that the Empire is now working with Jalen, who has supplied the location of the rebel base on Akiva to them. It is then revealed that Jalen and Sliro are brothers and that their family was set to get rich building thousands of Star Destroyers for the Empire, but Sliro told the Emperor that his family was plotting against him so that he could gain status and a promotion within the Empire. Sliro also felt that he was always second rate in the family while Jalen was the heir, so Sliro did what he had to do in order to get ahead. Jalen now wants what is rightfully his, and so he has ND5 kill Sliro and then takes over as the head of Zarek Besh. Kay then reveals herself and Jalen has ND5 chase her down. Kay and Gadik come up with a plan to fire up a couple of generators and lure ND5 to the middle of them to stun him. Unfortunately, he is still functional and grabs Kay, but Nyx saves the day again and she's able to blast off his restraining bolt. With no more bolt attached, Jalen is a goner. Now they will need to fight their way out and get to the turbo lift that will bring them back to the Trailblazer.
My snipe was better.
With the Trailblazer, we now need to destroy the ship that's jamming communications so that Asara can reach the rebel base below. Once it's destroyed, rebels come to help out in the fight, and even Jabba contacted us to send his own fleet to assist in exchange for the codex that we grabbed off of Jalen. With all this firepower, we were able to destroy the Revelator and look at it burn. With that, the game is now over. Gadik and Ankh are making plans while the vastness of the galaxy await Kay and ND5, and you have earned yourself a trophy. Now it's time to do some trophy cleanup, starting with one called Got Ya Something and is done by collecting all the Nyx treasures. In the game, your little pal Nyx will have his own little treasures that he will sniff out, and it's up to you to follow him and retrieve them. There are 6 on Tashara, 1 on Kijimi, 4 on Akiva, and 4 on Tatooine. You will know you have found one when you see the Nyx icon pop up on the location name. There is also a store owner in Miragana who will trade you some unique items for the treasures that Nyx finds. Once you have collected all of Nyx's little treasures, you will earn the trophy. The next trophy is called Might Wanna Buckle Up and is done by fully upgrading the Trailblazer. So just like how we upgraded our blaster by finding parts in chests and from stores, the similar practice applies to upgrading your ship. You will also find a good amount of the parts you need from taking out ships in space. Once you install your last upgrade, just take flight in the Trailblazer and the trophy will unlock. The next trophy is called The Heavier They Fall and is done by defeating a raider to clear your wanted status. While you are in space, if you happen to get your wanted level all the way to 6, then a manhunt will ensue and what is called a raider will come after you. It isn't terribly tough to defeat as long as you can dodge its missiles, but when you do, you will unlock a trophy. The next trophy is called Right Back At Ya and is done by defeating 20 enemies using items fetched by Nyx.
Let's do this!
Running, just keep running. No one cares, we run.
Sometimes an enemy will drop their weapon after they have been killed, and you can have Nyx go and retrieve it for you. Now just start killing off your enemies, and once you've killed the 20th one with a gun that Nyx has retrieved, you will earn the trophy. The next trophy is called Think I Had a Choice and is done by reaching the lowest possible reputation with a faction. My advice is to do this one early, as a lot of missions can have your reputation tank with whatever faction you want to do this with. I chose to do this with Crimson Dawn, and since I was doing it so late in the game, my only real option was to continuously kill Crimson Dawn agents.
Oh, we shot each other dead.
Eventually, I killed enough of them and my reputation dropped to terrible and I earned the trophy. The next trophy is called Into Darkness and is done by destroying 10 enemy ships inside the Kijimi Nebula. This one can be a little tricky because you have to be inside the misty part of the nebula for the kill to count. You will know you are when you can no longer fire a missile at the enemy ship. Kill 10 ships while having that crutch and you will unlock the trophy. The next trophy is called I'll Bet You Have and is done by defeating 20 enemies distracted by Fast Talk. Fast Talk is one of the abilities that Kay can learn, and whenever an enemy spots her, she can use it to delay the enemy's aggression and give her a window to react in. One of the actions she can take is stunning her enemies, and just happens to be the easiest way to get this trophy. Stun her enemies 20 times after engaging Fast Talk and you will have earned this trophy. The next trophy is called Sometimes I Amaze Even Myself and is done by defeating an enemy ship after doing a loop maneuver. The loop maneuver is also an ability that Kay will learn for her ship and loops it around to face the other way. The easiest way to get this trophy is to find a big enemy ship and get its health down really low, then use the loop maneuver and destroy it and it will count towards awarding you the trophy. The next trophy is called Punching Up and is done when you defeat each Syndicate's capital ship without taking any hull damage. This is probably the most difficult of all the trophies as each of the ships pack plenty of firepower and you can't take damage outside of the damage done to your shields. There are 4 ships total, 2 on Tatooine, 1 on Tashara, and 1 on Kijimi. The strategy here is to hit the ships in their weak spots highlighted in yellow while continuously dodging their missiles and healing up when your shields get too low. Once you have dealt with the last of the Syndicate ships, you will unlock the trophy. The final 2 trophies left in the game are Honest Work and Outlaws, and are done by completing 40 contracts, which will give you the platinum in the game. I unfortunately saved the most tedious trophy for last, as it really is the easiest, but is also the most time consuming. But don't take my word for it, take a look at this.
Got another deal for you.
Anyone know what that was?
I can't believe they didn't see me.
Nice work. Credits on their way.
Later. Idiot stormtrooper. But I mean, that's kind of just self-explanatory, right? Idiot stormtrooper. Steal the goods. Oh, this is too funny. That's just too funny.
You will need to do 40 of these contracts in order to get the trophy, but once you do, you can celebrate because not only did you get that one...
And then are you ready? Are you ready for this? Here we go. Outlaws! We got the Platinum Trophy. Unlock all Star Wars Outlaws trophies.
Honestly, this game was a blast to play, and if you are a fan of Star Wars and open worlds with lots of things to do and collect, I would recommend this game for you. Sure, some of the things in the game may be tedious and the AI downright dumb at times, but it does make for some fun moments and a good story to tell. Well, this is the end of our adventure together, and if you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you gave it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, as well as ring the bell to get notified when videos like this come out. I will see you guys in the next one, and may the Force be with you.